The world trembles at trending hashtags, #we, #Iran, #nuclear war. Social media thrums with apocalyptic panic. Newscasters warn of nuclear Armageddon. But wait, is Earth really on the brink of total annihilation? Tonight, we tackle myth, the idea that one bomb could destroy everything. We all know nuclear bombs are devastating, but devastating how much? Historical record gives perspective. In 1945, little boy 15 KT devastated Hiroshima's center. Nearly everything up to about 1 mile away was destroyed. U.S. surveys found roughly 12 kilometers squared 4.7 m2 of Hiroshima was wrecked tragic, but far smaller than a global wipeout. In fact, 69% of Hiroshima's buildings were destroyed, meaning about 1/3 survived. The iconic Genbaku Dome, only 150 meters from ground zero, still stands today. Not all was vaporized. Shockingly, people survived even very close by. In one building just 170 meters from ground zero, Eizo Nomura was the sole survivor. Decades later, researchers found 78 people were alive who had been within 500 meters of the blast. Those stories shatter the "no one can live" myth. These survivors lived on proving that beyond the fireball's edge, life continued. How far can even the biggest bombs reach? Not as far as many fear. Nuclear experts point out, destroying radius grows only with the cube root of yield. In other words, 10 times the explosive yield only doubles the kill radius. For example, a 100 KT detonation several times Hiroshima has a ~2 mile lethal radius, while a 1 megaton airburst reaches only ~4.4 miles. In practical terms, even a 1.2 megaton bomb, the largest U.S. bomb, B-83, kills within a few miles, horrific locally, but again not infinite. Experts note that multiple smaller blasts cover more ground than one megabomb. A 10 megaton bomb might roar, but it won't double Hiroshima's dead. For perspective, the largest nuclear test ever, Russia's Tsar Bomba 50 MT, obliterated dozens of city blocks, not continents. Even 10 big bombs wouldn't incinerate the entire planet. They'd light up the sky, but leave pockets of Earth intact. What about radiation? Nuclear lore suggests no escape, but reality is more nuanced. The Hiroshima/Nagasaki experience showed that long-term fallout radiation was the least of our problems compared to fire and societal collapse. Acute radiation sickness killed many near ground zero, but most people beyond the blast survived. Among 100,000 survivors Hibakusha, excess cancer deaths were relatively low, about 850 solid cancers above normal, and fewer than 100 extra leukemias. In short, surviving the initial blast meant a decent chance at living a life after. Even with a modern thermonuclear burst, lethal radiation only blankets a few miles. For a 300 KT airburst, you'd die from blast or flash burn long before fallout got you if you're very close. And scientists warn that even a full-scale nuclear war would probably not wipe out humanity. Models suggest some humans would survive, eventually repopulating the planet. A true species extinction is deemed unlikely. What would collapse would be civilization, famine, and chaos. Not every last person instantaneously gone. Make no mistake, nuclear weapons are terrifying. They can level cities and kill millions. But they are not magic, they have limits. Our worst case studies show that dozens of Hiroshima-sized warheads can spark a nuclear winter and global famine. But even that plays out over years, not in a single instant. The real Armageddon is the breakdown of society and the suffering that follows. In 2025, as Israel-Iran tensions swirl online, remember, panic hashtags outpace facts. One nuclear strike might obliterate a metropolis, but it does not ensure the annihilation of all life. Empires might fall, but the Earth itself wouldn't instantly turn to cinders. So, if one nuke won't destroy the world, what's truly worth fearing?